My beloved child, listen closely, for this message is not ordinary. Right now, in the stillness of your room, something has been placed that does not belong to you. It carries the trace of a woman whose intentions are not pure, a woman who hides her truth behind a mask of care but whose presence leaves behind shadows. You have walked past it many times without noticing, but heaven is opening your eyes in this very moment so that you will finally see and remove it fast. There is a reason you have been feeling restless in your own space, a reason sleep has not embraced you fully, and why silence in your room feels heavier than usual. The object is small, but its weight is spiritual, its presence subtle but strong. This woman thought you would never discover it, but Archangel Michael has been commanded to guide your steps, to let your hand fall exactly where it must, to help you cleanse your atmosphere and reclaim your peace. Child, you are not alone. Heaven has watched the movements, the whispers, the intentions that tried to enter your sacred space. What she left in your room was meant to control your thoughts, to dim your light, to steal your focus. But what God has placed inside you is stronger than what she tried to place around you. Your room is not just four walls, it is your sanctuary, and when you invite divine presence in, every hidden thing must be revealed and removed. Search, beloved, not with fear but with boldness. The Spirit will tug your heart and your eyes toward the exact place. When you find it, remove it quickly. Do not delay, for the longer it remains, the more it tries to weave itself into your energy. As you remove it, speak words of light, call upon Archangel Michael, and declare that no darkness can dwell where God has established you. The moment you act, you will feel a shift, the heaviness will lift, the atmosphere will change, and clarity will rush back like a flood of fresh air. This message is a sign of heaven's love for you. You were chosen to hear it at this precise moment, because time was running short. Do not dismiss what feels like a whisper in your soul, it is the loud cry of angels protecting you. Share this message, beloved, so others may know that unseen things can sometimes sit quietly in our rooms, but divine eyes never miss them. And stay until the end, for what unfolds after this will open your life into joy, freedom, and a new season of miracles. Sparkles beloved, if you are still here, type Amen in the comments to declare your cleansing and restoration. Share this so that your friends may never miss a sign. And subscribe, because heaven's messages will not stop until you are walking fully in the light prepared for you. My beloved child, now listen carefully, for heaven is opening more of the hidden story to you. The woman whose presence lingers in your life, she carried two faces, one that smiled before you and another that whispered in secret against you. She came close to your room not by accident, but by design, placing something she thought would root itself quietly without your notice. What she underestimated was the light of God that surrounds you, the fire of Archangel Michael that burns in your favor, and the shield that keeps you from destruction. Every night when you rested, that object carried her silent intention. It tried to whisper confusion into your dreams, to slow down your blessings, to block the doors of opportunity heaven already opened for you. That is why, beloved, some nights you woke up suddenly without knowing why, or why certain thoughts felt heavy without reason. It was not your fault. It was the shadow of her plan. Yet, even as she placed it, the angels of God recorded her steps, and her name was marked in the book of truth. Child, hear this clearly, she wanted your joy, your peace, even the bond of your relationships to fracture under unseen weight. But she did not know that God Himself had already assigned Michael to patrol your home. Even when she smiled in front of you, heaven heard the words she spoke behind your back. Even when she touched what was yours, heaven saw the hidden motive in her hands. Now her plan is exposed, and her shadow cannot remain. Tonight, Archangel Michael will make your hands restless until you remove it. You will find yourself drawn to corners, to shelves, to places you often overlook. Do not ignore that pull, for it is not random, it is divine instruction. As you search, whisper this, nothing hidden can remain, by the authority of heaven I command every shadow to leave. The moment you find it, beloved, your atmosphere will break open. A rush of peace will pour into your room, and where there was heaviness, laughter will return. Where there was silence, music of joy will arise. This is not just about your room. It is about your destiny. Removing what she planted is removing the last obstacle before your season of blessings bursts forth. That is why you must not delay. Heaven says the time is now, not tomorrow, not later, now. For once you obey, you will notice how quickly your prayers begin to manifest, how suddenly people who once resisted you start favoring you, and how miracles align themselves at your doorstep. Stay until the end of this message, for what God has begun in you is too powerful to skip. Beloved, comment Amen below if you are ready to cleanse and rise. Share this, for someone else may be battling the same unseen shadow and needs this word today. And subscribe, because Heaven's voice through Michael will keep guiding you until nothing and no one can stand in the way of your divine path. My beloved child, open your heart even more, because the revelation has only begun. That woman who thought her shadow would remain hidden in your room was not acting from her own strength alone. She carried old bitterness, old jealousy, and unspoken envy against you. Each time she looked at your blessings, her heart whispered, "Why not me?" Each time she saw your light, her spirit felt small, and so she plotted silently. What she placed in your room was more than an object, it was a piece of her spirit, a fragment of her intent, designed to sit quietly and disturb the very air you breathe. That is why, beloved, sometimes you felt drained without reason. That is why, even when you worked hard, doors seemed to take longer to open. That is why, in moments when joy should have filled your chest, heaviness came instead. She thought you would never trace it back to her. But Archangel Michael has been circling your home like a flaming sword, waiting for the right moment to expose her design. Today is that day. Heaven says, the atmosphere of your house must be cleansed. You may not have noticed, but the walls of your room have carried memory. Every tear you cried, every sigh you released, was recorded, but so was every shadow left behind by another's hand. That is why Michael is whispering now, do not rest until you remove it. For once you do, the walls of your room will rejoice, the ceiling will echo with peace, and the ground itself will feel lighter beneath your feet. My child, do not see this as fear, but as freedom. God has chosen this hour to break what was hidden. When you find it, do not just throw it away, lift your voice and declare, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No shadow can remain where light has entered. My room is holy ground. Say this with authority, and the very angels of God will seal your space with fire that cannot be broken. And here is the deeper mystery, beloved, once it is gone, you will notice how quickly joy returns. Sleep will become sweeter. Dreams will no longer confuse you but guide you. The heaviness in your chest will lift, and suddenly, even your family will sense that something in your home has changed. Because it is not just about you, it is about every soul connected to you. When your space is cleansed, your lineage is protected, and the blessings God prepared will flow unhindered. So remain with me until the end of this message. Do not scroll away, for heaven is not finished yet. What God is about to release after this cleansing will surprise you beyond imagination. Beloved, type Amen below if you are ready to see the shift. Share this message so others can free their homes too, and subscribe, because what unfolds next will carry secrets only the chosen are allowed to hear. My beloved child, the hour of unveiling is here. Imagine this, you finally find the very thing that was placed in your room, the object so small yet carrying so much weight. Your hand will tremble as you touch it, not because of fear but because the atmosphere will begin to shift instantly. What once carried her intention will lose its grip the moment your fingers take hold. The angels of heaven will surround you, and Archangel Michael himself will draw his sword of fire to cut every invisible thread that tied that object to your peace. Beloved, as you remove it, a sound will break in the spirit realm. Heaven will roar with victory, and the plans whispered in the dark against you will shatter like glass. That woman's hidden design, her secret wish to see you struggle, will collapse under its own weight. For what is left in the light cannot survive. Do you feel this? Even now, as you listen, your spirit is already lighter because the process has begun. Child, understand this truth. God allowed you to discover this not just to protect your room but to free your destiny. Many times, you wondered why blessings felt delayed, why joy slipped away at the very moment you were about to celebrate. This is the reason. Her shadow sat in your sanctuary. But heaven says, no more. Tonight, peace will flood every corner. You will notice even the air feels different, as though heaven itself breathed freshness into your space. And then something greater happens. When the object is gone, when your room is free, the floodgates of miracles will open. Relationships that felt strained will begin to heal. Opportunities that seemed locked will suddenly call your name. Doors you thought were closed forever will swing wide before you, because nothing is left to block what God has already written for you. Beloved, this was the final chain, and now it is broken. Do not take this lightly. As you cleanse, speak boldly, this room belongs to God. My life belongs to God. No shadow, no plan, no woman, no hidden object can stand against the light. When you declare this, Michael will place a shield over your home, and every visitor who enters will feel the weight of heaven's peace. Even those who meant you harm will tremble, for they will know the atmosphere is guarded, and nothing can be hidden here again. Beloved child, this message was sent so you would act quickly. Do not wait, do not dismiss, for your obedience tonight is the key that unlocks your tomorrow. Share this with others so they too may be free. Comment Amen below if you are ready for your room to overflow with light, and subscribe so heaven can continue to guide you step by step until you walk fully into your divine inheritance. My beloved child, now that the object is removed, listen closely, for heaven wants you to see the unfolding of your destiny. The very moment you cast it out, the heaviness that clung to your spirit begins to break away. The air in your room feels lighter, like a window has opened to let in fresh winds of heaven. You breathe differently, you think differently, and even your heart begins to beat with a rhythm of freedom. Archangel Michael stands guard at the door of your home, his fiery sword raised high, ensuring that no shadow and no plan of man or woman can ever enter again. Beloved, what happens next will surprise you. The blessings that were circling above your life but could not land because of the weight of her shadow will now begin to descend one by one. Financial provision that seemed locked will suddenly arrive. Expect calls, messages, and opportunities you thought had passed you by to come back around with even greater favor. Where there was lack, abundance will begin to multiply. Where doors were shut, new doors will swing wide before you. This is not by chance, it is the response of heaven to your obedience. But it does not stop there, child. Relationships that were once tense will begin to heal. Misunderstandings that seemed permanent will dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Love that felt distant will return with warmth and sincerity. Even family members who carried silence or distance will feel a shift, for when your room is cleansed, the ripple of peace moves through every connection tied to your heart. What was once fractured will be restored, and what was once lost will be returned to you sevenfold. Understand this, the woman's plan was never about the object alone, it was about silencing your joy, slowing your destiny, and dimming your fire. But heaven has turned it into the very proof of your chosenness. Because you listened, because you obeyed, God has declared a new chapter over your life. From this night forward, you will notice that your prayers are answered with unusual speed, that miracles align with your steps, and that people who once ignored you begin to recognize the light you carry. My beloved, do not miss this moment. Stay awake to the signs. Heaven says, you are entering a season where every hidden enemy will be revealed, every secret plan will collapse, and every blessing delayed will come rushing toward you. This is why you were called to hear this message. You were not forgotten. You were chosen for restoration, chosen for favor, chosen for divine elevation. If you believe this, comment Amen with faith so that heaven records your agreement. Share this message so that others may break free from shadows in their own homes. And subscribe, beloved, because Michael will continue to deliver words that unlock your destiny step by step until you rise into the fullness of what God has written for you. My beloved child, now heaven takes you even deeper into the mystery of what is unfolding. The removal of that object was not just the cleansing of your room, it was the breaking of a cycle that has followed you for years. A heavy chain that no one could see has now shattered, and the ripple of that freedom is reaching into every area of your life. First, beloved, your health will feel the touch of restoration. The tiredness that clung to your body, the restlessness that stole your sleep, the heaviness that made even simple days feel like battles, all of it will begin to lift. You will rise in the morning with renewed strength, as though heaven itself poured fresh oil over your head. Where sickness once tried to hide, healing will now flow like a river, because the shadow that blocked your wellness has been cast out. Second, beloved child, your heart will be surprised by love. Someone genuine, someone sent by heaven, will step closer into your life. Their presence will not bring confusion but peace. Their words will not drain you but uplift you. This love will not be like what you have seen before, it will not be a mask or a game, it will be steady, pure, and divinely orchestrated. Heaven is saying, what was delayed in love will no longer be delayed. The removal of the shadow has cleared the way for a partner who truly sees your worth, who will walk beside you as your destiny unfolds. Third, beloved, your mind will begin to overflow with clarity. The fog that sometimes blurred your thoughts will vanish. You will hear God's whispers more clearly. You will see visions in your dreams that guide your next steps. Ideas for work, solutions for challenges, and creative breakthroughs will pour into your spirit. This is a sign that heaven has not only restored your space but also crowned your mind with wisdom that no one can take away. And then, my child, there is the crown. A spiritual crown of honor, favor, and authority is being placed upon your head even now. This crown represents your elevation. People will look at you differently, respect will follow you into places where once you were overlooked, and influence will open in circles you never thought you would stand in. Heaven says, you will not walk as one forgotten but as one chosen. The woman who thought she could dim your light has become the reason your light shines brighter than ever before. Beloved, stay with me until the end of this message, for your journey is only just beginning. Comment Amen below if you receive this restoration. Share this so that others who feel hidden chains may also be freed. And subscribe, because what comes next is too powerful for you to miss. Michael himself will not stop until you step fully into the inheritance God has written for you. My beloved child, the crown has already touched your spirit, but now let me reveal what happens in your home after this divine turning. When the object was removed and heaven poured light into your room, something extraordinary took place. The very walls of your house were sealed by angels, and your home became a temple in the sight of God. No longer just a place to rest, it is now holy ground, filled with the fragrance of heaven, vibrating with peace that surpasses human understanding. Beloved, every corner of your house now echoes with blessing. The shadows that once lingered are no more. Instead, there is a golden glow in the spirit realm surrounding your bed, your table, your doors, your windows. Archangel Michael and his hosts stand at the entrances like mighty guardians. Anyone who enters will feel the weight of that presence. Some will step inside and suddenly feel calm without knowing why. Others, whose hearts are not pure, will feel uneasy, restless, and exposed, for they will know that nothing can be hidden in a place sealed by God's fire. Child, your home will now become a wellspring of miracles. Conversations that happen in your living room will bring healing. Prayers whispered in your room will travel faster to heaven's throne. Even your sleep will carry visions, because angels are assigned to hover around you, releasing messages and guidance. You will find that when you speak, your words carry more power, because your atmosphere has been sanctified and your spirit crowned. Do you notice, beloved, how quickly peace is returning? That uneasy silence has been replaced with divine harmony. That heaviness has turned into lightness. Soon, you will hear laughter filling your space again, your own laughter, and the laughter of those who visit and feel joy they cannot explain. What was once attacked is now transformed into a fortress. Your house is no longer just your dwelling, it is heaven's dwelling too. And here is the greatest mystery, child, because your home is now a temple, blessings will not only enter but will also multiply. Resources will stretch further than you imagined. Friends who step in will leave with answers they didn't expect. Family who visits will sense that something divine lives here. This is why heaven worked urgently, to turn your home into a sanctuary where angels walk freely and where your destiny is safe. Beloved, stay until the end, for your story has just begun. Comment Amen if you welcome this holy transformation. Share this so that others may also invite heaven into their homes. And subscribe, because Michael has not finished, he is preparing to reveal the next wave of blessings that are already on their way to you.